So here we go. There's a Warcraft 3 Dota game here. The Insomniac Andrew. I picked Slark and I had an ally pick Techies. We had a Shadow Fiend over here, Shadow Shaman over there, Centaur over there. They had a Juggernaut with boots of speed, so he's obviously going for that cheesy first blood. I knew that they had a Juggernaut, so I was kind of cautious of that. They also had a Magnus, and a Pudge, a Life Stealer. In their middle was Windrunner. Anyways, Techies is here, and then the creeps actually see him over there, so they could suppose that he was planting bombs. So it's probably not so good. And then Juggernaut comes, and I'm like, I'm getting out of here. And Techies doesn't, and Techies ends up dying because of it. Of course, he does make quite the getaway, which makes Juggernaut take quite a few tower hits. So as you can see, I go ahead and pounce him and he dies.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
The thing with that Juggernaut with his boots of speed, you can't get away from him. He's faster than you if you don't have your boots. If you retreat to that tower, you're gonna be dying pretty much because it does way too much damage. It's like 80 damage a second. Level 1, you don't have that kind of health to survive that. It lasts like 8 seconds or something. It's ridiculous. There's like 640 damage, enough to kill any hero at level 1 pretty much.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
So their Windrunner died to their Shadow Fiend apparently. And then I'm eating some yogurt by the way, so I'm not talking very much. First thing in the morning, I played this game super late at night. Actually, it was super early in the morning if you want to get technical. But I remembered it and was like even before I went to sleep, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fraps this because it was pretty fun. So as you can see, Techies is planting these bombs, but he's not really trying to blow up the creeps with it to farm up gold. So I know he's trying to kill heroes, but he's dragging the creep. He's letting the creeps get into the bombs. So I'm like, okay, well, we're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna kill them with those bombs. We managed to kill them without them, so that's good. Mostly due to my efforts. Sometimes as an agility hero, a ring of regeneration is awesome. I normally don't get one with Slark, but I knew because I'd be laning with Techies that I'd be doing a lot of tanking, and because of that I knew I would need permanent regeneration with the ring of regeneration. So I got it. Normally I would just get tangos, and they'll be good enough. But if you need to tank in your lane, you probably better get the ring of regeneration. Like if you know your ally's an intelligence hero that's squishier than your hero, and you're an agility, you better get that ring. It doesn't matter if you have free tranquil boots at level 6. You still need that ring at level 1.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
So here I'm like, let me know how I help kill Windrunner. I'm kind of short of mana. And she actually stops me from doing any damage to her, I guess. Well, almost any damage. But then Shadow Fiend is free to just totally destroy her. So that worked out good.
Our allies' town needs help.
So here I go to work on a dark pacting these creeps. I get them all a little weak. I kill them all at the same time. Get gold for all of them. That was nice. And I was also hoping that maybe they would mistake the dark pact explosion for techies bombs. And if I could trick them into thinking that techies was blowing up creeps, when in reality it was me dark pacting, and they might suppose that techies has not been placing mines elsewhere for now. So anyways, he tries to slow me, and I dark pact it off. And I get some damage in on him too, apparently. Anyway, so we keep fighting.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
And then I go ahead and tank up, and then I use my dark pact, and then he slows me after my dark pact, so I couldn't dispel it. But I use phase boots, and I run through the mines, and as you can see, they both chase me down and get blown up by the mines and die. So I barely survived. But I'm level 6 by then. In fact, I'm level 7, so I'm able to regenerate health now, and it's no big deal. So I take out a creep camp, and then I just keep on rolling. But that move right there is why I love techies so much. And Slark too, really, because Slark is awesome at luring opponents. And then, you know, he's a great combination with techies because you can just lure people into the bombs. Like, it's just an amazing combo. Kind of like Invoker and Juggernaut. I was actually probably going to finish her off, but there's nothing wrong with finishing someone off early. I never really complain. Anyway, this techies also has an ability where he suicides, and it does damage in a small area. And then he's got an ability. Of course, if the aim is not spot on for the suicide, it won't do as much damage as it could. So you gotta keep that in mind. And that's not the same thing for the Goblin Landmine or his ultimate, which is Remote Mines. Which I don't think he's placed them yet, but it's probably because he's so short on mana. So he's just placing regular mines for now. But once he gets that soul ring, he'll probably see some remote mines. So then he can sacrifice health for mana. Anyway. The remote mines are very similar to landmines, but they don't just go off when anything runs over them. it goes off when you set them off. And you can actually plant them from farther away. And in fact, if you get a Aghanim Scepter, an ultimate upgrade item, you could set them from even farther. It's like really strong that way. And then it'll increase the damage too, which is nice. So, well, it just boosts the damage up to the most powerful landmine damage, I believe. It's not like it does more damage than the landmine. But normally the ultimate, although it's great because you can set it off when you want to, it does actually do less damage than the landmine, unless you get the ultimate upgrade item. So it's kind of fair, pretty much, for the opponents. It's not so strong, but it forces the enemy into using unusual tactics, like maybe even buying items they normally wouldn't buy, like buy blade mail, activate it, run over some mines, that techie blow himself and you up. Another option, I guess, is blacking bar. I think it blocks like some of the damage, or maybe even all of it. You just activate that and then run over the mines. But what I like is Manta style. You activate that, let the illusion run over the mines. The illusion blows up all the mines blow up. You don't have to worry about taking any damage to your own hero. Much less risk. And Centaur just activated his ultimate, which is why I phased through him. It wasn't because I was using phase boots. But I didn't realize he was going to use his ultimate. In Dota 2, it's great because you can voice chat. You can like be Centaur and you can tell your allies, charge! When Warcraft 3 Dota, it's kind of like really, a lot of times it's really tough to be able to chat with your allies. Like if you're using Skype or something, I guess it's a different story. But for the most part, I mean, you're just using the regular program. You're going to be at a loss for figuring out how you're going to communicate with your allies. It's always good when you can like use like your hero's body language to tell your allies what you're going to do, you know? But in that case, I didn't even know Centaur was coming until I'd already decided to move away. So the only indication I knew that he was coming was that he activated his ultimate, and then he was there a split second later. That's not really good enough. I was already going in the opposite direction. So, but anyways, he was probably hoping that I wouldn't, and by the time he activated his ultimate, he probably wasn't looking at the direction my hero was traveling, and was just hoping I was chasing. Oh wow, I wasn't, in fact. So, I think in Warcraft 3 Dota, probably, Centaur is not overpowered just because of the lack of voice chat, but in Dota 2 he definitely is. And I'm not saying it's because of his ultimate, though. I'm just saying the ultimate's like... I'm not sure what I'm trying to say exactly, but the main thing to keep in mind is that double edge is what makes him so strong. It's too strong right now. And his ultimate in Warcraft 3 Dota is kinda stupid. It's not even 5 seconds yet. It's only 3.75. It's practically worthless in Warcraft 3 Dota without that voice chat. So, but anyways, in Dota 2 it is pretty good. But I think it could be better if it was level 5. But I'm not gonna complain all that much, since Centaur's actually a really good hero against Slark. But the main reason why he's so good against Slark is because of that double edge. It's way too powerful. It was already super strong, and then they buffed it. Like, it was already doing... Like, it was strong before, and then they buffed it, right? And then it was, like, amazing, and made him an awesome hero, as if he wasn't already, right? Like, it was doing like 350 damage, maybe 375. And they're like, you know what, that's not enough. Let's make it do 400. And I forgot that Pudge was playing, and so he hooked me. You don't want to forget that a hero like Pudge is in the game, because he's sneaky and he's gonna hook you from somewhere. But I did, and I paid the price. Anyway, the thing with Centaur is, first it was only doing like over 300 damage, not that big of a deal. And I changed it to 400, and then everyone was like, oh man, I really gotta make sure he doesn't double edge me constantly, right? Alright, now what? Now, instead of it just being 400 damage to himself and his target, and it was great, believe me, because he has lots of health to throw away. Instead of that, now, it does also damage to all the enemies in an area around the target, which is so powerful, especially against a hero like Slark, who relies on the fact that he's invisible. Because if you think about it, what if he's fighting like with an ally? All Centaur has to do is stun his ally. Now, I died that reason because I had not noticed that Magnus had already farmed up Link Dagger. I should have guessed as much. I had 3,000 gold myself, and I hadn't spent it. I guess I was being irresponsible with my gold spending. I was actually trying to buy a Radiance, because I bought one the previous game, and I was like, yeah, that was fun, I'm gonna buy one again. And if I had had it, I actually could have used that as a counter to Magnus's Blink Dagger. But, well, really, I only had 3,000 gold, not 5,000, so I couldn't afford it. But anyways, I decided to just get some health, since that would help a lot against Pudge. Against Pudge, you kind of just need health. There's no way around it. You know, he'll rot you, he'll hook you, he'll bite you, whatever. Especially if you're a melee hero, he's just going to use his ultimate on you because there's no way you can stop it, basically. You can get a Lincoln Sphere, though. That will help. But I also knew I'd have to deal with Magnus, too, so in that case, I just might as well get some health. Lincoln Sphere could wait if I wanted to go ahead and get it. So anyways, what was I saying? Centaur. Yeah, he just uses double edge on a creep for all it matters, and it will still damage you. Of course, Centaur was my ally in this game, so I was thankful for that. But anyways, normally it's so much damage, and pretty much no hero can stand up to it. And with Slark, he's got that advantage where he's invisible. But when enemies start throwing their area of effective abilities around, Slark doesn't like that, because it hits him even when he's in his ultimate, when normally spells being thrown around wouldn't hit him. Like Dragon Knight's Breathfire hurts him, for example, or Power Shot from Windrunner. And there's other stuff. But Double Edge is just the most powerful spell. It does the most damage, it costs no mana, and now instead of just hitting the one target, it hits every enemy in the area. Now it hurts himself, and it's Double Edge. I wouldn't have a problem with the ability if it hurt his allies in the area too. That would actually make it at least a little bit skill, a little bit of a skill shot. Because you have to make sure none of your allies are in the way, or at the very least your allies have to make sure that they don't get in the way. It would be so much better then. Right now, just Centaur's double edge is way too good, and that's why he's overpowered, not because of his ultimate. Back in Warcraft 3, his ultimate's almost pointless, because it's way too short, and you don't have voice chat to tell your allies that you're going to use it. That was odd. I don't know why Juggernaut went back into the range of the wards. It's not that the wards do magic damage, they do piercing. He's not going to be invulnerable with his magic immunity. Guess he really thought he'd be able to take down that centaur. He sees that bar pretty far to the left, but it's not far enough. That centaur's got a lot more health maximum than he does. I think a lot of players forget about how much health the centaur actually has. It's pretty unfair. That's why Double Edge is so good, you know? Like, if he had the health of techies, it wouldn't be so good. That's for sure. I'm not saying give him the health of techies, I'm just saying let Double Edge hurt allies too, that's all I'm saying. Even then, he still would be super strong and amazing. But at least there'd be a little bit of potential for having a backfire. Like you use it and then you hurt your own allied techies. That could be good. I mean, for the opponents, right? And make sure the techies has to stay out of the way. But I mean, I know techies has always had his bombs that never hurt allies when they blow up. So I guess I can understand the reasoning behind Double Edge not hurting allies, except for the fact that it hurts him. Centaur uses his ultimate to make sure I escape, but I don't think I really needed the help.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
But I might have even been able to get the kill on Magnus if I'd really abused it well enough, which I didn't. And then I hit a lag spike, and I ended up leaping before Slark, before I could turn Slark. I was trying to turn him, but I wasn't able to because of the lag.
Our allies' town needs help.
And then I realize I'm in a lot of trouble here. Centaur blinks behind me and pushes me into tower range. And be careful of that centaur. I mean, not centaur, magnetar, my bad. Actually, it's a magnosaurus in Dota 2, so whatever. But yeah. Really fun hero, you can do lots of fun stuff with him. I think even if he just jumped onto me and used his ultimate, he wouldn't even needed a blink dagger, he still could have killed me. But then I guess he would have had to use his ultimate. It's not like it has a super long cooldown like Enigma's ultimate or anything, so it's not that big of a deal. Use it on one hero for the kill. I'd say it's a lot better than spending money on a blink dagger, but other people disagree. And that's up to them. I mean, if they want to be able to hold on to their ultimate, then let them hold on to it. Let them buy blink dagger, that's fine, whatever. But I would just spend it and buy something else. Get like a Helmet of the Dominator or something. Vlad's, whatever. Some people love Mask of Madness. The Mask of Madness probably isn't so good unless you actually have the blink dagger. That's what a lot of people combo the Mask of Madness with. Because you jump right into action, then you activate your mask, and you have lots of time to attack. But that could backfire. Like you're done attacking, and then someone catches up to you, and your mask is still active, but you don't really need it and wish you didn't have it. Ooh, that's not so good. But they could also just activate it, wait out half the duration, and then blink in too if they wanted. In fact, that's what a lot of voids do, when they use their ultimate, because the duration of the mask is like 10 seconds. So that's the part that throws people off, is that 10-second duration. Or however long it is. I'm pretty sure it's 10. It could be like 8 or something, but I could... Anyway, whatever. The main thing is that it's got that damage amplify, and it can bite you in the butt if you don't use it properly. And she's pretty smart. She manages to get away. She uses the Skull Town portal. And with the lag that I was experiencing, there was just no way I could kill her in time. If I'd had a stun, it would have been a different matter, but I didn't. If I had a bash her, I would have had a chance at stunning her, but it would have been pretty slim with all that lag. You can see I only got one attack in on her. I'm not even sure if I got that one attack, but I think I did. I think I remember hearing it. I think it was Pudge complaining about Life Stealer. I'm not quite sure though. Oh no, wouldn't it have been Centaur? Well, anyway, somebody was complaining about it. But that's because he was over in our lane. Lots of times Life Stealer would be playing around in the jungle, but he wasn't doing that this game. He was helping out Juggernaut. Slows are really helpful for Juggernaut, but I mean, he had boots, so why would he need a slow, right? Maybe he shouldn't have got those boots to begin with. He could have just relied on Lifestealer's slow to get that first kill on techies.
Our allies' town needs help.
Anyway, maybe he had been checking out the jungle and didn't see Lifestealer. I was probably expecting Pudge to be middle, and he was at bottom. And Pudge could be in any lane he wants, Lifestealer could be in any lane he wants. You shouldn't restrict a hero to one lane or another. If it's just what you're comfortable with, if it's just what you've practiced with, then go with that. But, I mean, you don't want to do something like in matchmaking and go to something that you're not prepared to be able to do. It's something that you don't know if you're going to suck at it or be good at it because you haven't practiced. Of course you don't want to do something like that, but
our allies' town needs help.
You shouldn't also think that it's taboo to like send a certain hero to a certain lane, because there are definitely different ways you can make it work. You can buy different items, you can work with different heroes, or alone, or against different heroes. You can learn abilities in a different order than you would if you went to a different lane. Anyway, at this point, she's using focus fire on me. Level 13. What is she buying? She's got like a staff of wizardry. She must be getting like a 4 staff. That's not going to amplify the power of her ultimate. I think the important thing for Windrunner is to make sure all her abilities are viable. And to do that, you kind of need either Maelstrom or Monkey King Bar. So if you're not building one of those items early enough, you're playing Windrunner wrong. And I could be wrong about this, but I believe that the new item to get for Windrunner now is Tranquil Boots, because that lets you save up the gold for those 2 items. I'm sure Phase Boots is probably the item to get from time to time if you're a Windrunner. But for the most part, tranquil boots are just like amazing for any hero. Maybe not so much for slark, but
This town needs help.
pretty much any other hero, yeah, it's awesome. Okay, now like Rubik, I love arcane boots on him. Heroes like Lion, I love phase boots on them. And then Slark is definitely Tread's hero, but this game I went for phase. Like, your boot choice is definitely kind of flexible, but in some cases, like, some items are just way better.
Our allies' town needs
There's
help.
nothing wrong with trying out new things. Just because something's always worked for you doesn't mean you should always buy it, because something else might work even better. Keep your minds open. So anyways, this game's pretty much over. We've been like dominating them all game long. We just gotta make a good push. So we take down Roshan while I'm farming up items. Someone else decided to do it, so I'm like, yeah, I agree, it's a good idea, so we do it. Because I had Vladimir's offering, so definitely didn't have to worry about taking too much damage from him. Although we had a centaur anyway, probably just letting him tank would have been good enough.
Our warriors
Anyway, so we're doing a fight, and it's pretty exciting, but you probably missed most of it because I was sneezing. Sorry about that. So anyways, the enemy is actually over at top. Maybe they didn't think we would push middle, but I was there. But then I did decide to go top since they weren't there.
warriors have engaged.
That's the fun thing about Slark, you can be anywhere you want. You move around pretty fast. Just about. You pounce into the fog, and then you have maximum move speed all of a sudden, even after you've hit level 16 or so. I'm not sure if phase boots boost your speed at level 16 or not. Can't remember what your move speed is. But I do know if you've got like a Yasha, then at level 2 or 3 ultimate, then you'll have maximum speed without the phase boots. Anyways, definitely when you have only your level 1 ultimate, the phase boots boost your move speed. I'm just not sure about the level 2 and 3. But it's just kind of activating them from time to time anyways. Anyway, the main reason I got it was because I didn't want to get stuck, like getting slowed by Lifestealer, not being able to phase through units. Because I was laning against Juggernaut. And that helps me get that double kill on them with techies. Well, the techies got the double kill, not me, but I was the lure. Anyway, it does improve his luring abilities getting the face boots. But if you think his luring abilities are good enough without it, then don't bother getting it. It's kind of like getting a blink dagger on Magnus. I don't normally do it, but that doesn't mean that I don't do it sometimes. So I don't normally get phase boots on Slark, but that doesn't mean that I don't do it sometimes. In this case, I should have fought a lot more, but I was kind of scared of Magnus. But actually, I was stunned by him for a long time, so there wasn't a whole lot I could have done, other than maybe predict that he was about to stun me and use my Dark Pact. But I mean, how are you gonna blink when he's gonna... I mean, how are you gonna predict when he blinks in? It's like instant teleport, and then he stuns you with his ultimate immediately. Just not a whole lot you can do about that. So anyways, I guess it's the power of blink dagger if you think about it. Helps when people can actually do something if they see you coming. And blink dagger prevents them from seeing you coming. You just jump in there from out of nowhere. Now, if he didn't actually have a refresh orb, he was probably just saving his light rage until he realized that I noticed him. And that's just made it seem like it was like lasting twice as long as it should have. Because he wasn't actually using it against the other guy, and the other guy was just being a pussy and running away for no good reason. And I was just assuming that he had rage on.
Our warriors have engaged.
So anyways, our team was dominating so hard that we decided we didn't need wards, I guess, but they had wards up. And maybe they had the wards up for Pudge's sake, for hooking, I don't know, but I think they were mostly trying to make sure they didn't lose. Wanted to see us coming. So here I am coming and they see me. Shadow Shaman too, so they back off. So wards are helpful, you definitely want to remember wards. Of course you should probably have them before you are like in danger of losing. But anyway, whatever. Or on the other hand, I guess you could think of it as you're always in danger of losing from minute one. Then again, there's no reason to be a pessimist. You might as well consider that it's also the case that you're in danger of winning. So here's techies. What does he even do? Well, he plants a stun trap. So they have to take a different path than following him. So they do, but then there's those serpent wards there, and they just had to back off. And my courier delivers my item, which is the lightning orb, called Maelstrom. It's a really good item on Slark. And he actually has a funny quote when he buys it too, I think. I guess. I've just read it, the code for what he says. But anyways, yeah, this guy's hard to get a hold of. He's slippery like butter, man.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
He bought a Shadow Blade, or in Warcraft 3 Dota we call it Lothar's Edge. The Lothar's a hero in Warcraft 3, so they had to rename the ability, or the item, I mean. Anyway, it's making him go invisible, so we can't figure out where he is. Well, what I like to do against invisibles is get radiance. My plans to buy that were set back, and I decided to buy a Maelstrom. Because I needed attack speed. I didn't even have my power treads. So I needed attack speed in some item or another, so I got Maelstrom.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
I probably didn't even need my lifesteal. I don't know why I got it. It was probably pretty pointless. I guess I still had my brain on Centaur as my enemy. Like, I'm so used to Centaur being my enemy, I think I bought it as if preparing for what if Centaur was my enemy. Because I do plan on playing against Centaur a lot in Dota 2 with Slark. But hey, if he's my ally, I'm not going to complain. He is overpowered like crazy.
Until they fix that double edge, I don't even have to worry about standing too close to him. As long as he's my ally, that is. Anyways, yeah, once you get a Maelstrom and Centaur gets whatever he's getting, there's pretty much nothing they can do against you. In fact, I had a Majolner by this point, so that's good. I also bought a gem, because I figured we'd have killed a knife stealer. But apparently Windrunner was scared of me and she bought a gem and Centaur stole it. So now we had 2 gems. I think if you look at replay vision of one of us, you can see the true sight indicator. Oh, maybe not. Well, you could see it in game. I'm not sure why you can't see it in the replay. But there's a true sight indicator for your allies. So you can see that they have a gem, which is nice. But normally, if they're your enemy, you kind of have to click on them to figure out what their items are. Like right now, Juggernaut has Sentry Ward. And that's True Sight. You always want to look at the True Sight items when you're like an Invis hero, especially if you're Ricky. It really makes a big difference. Malaria has Dust. That's another True Sight item. So they're definitely concerned about Slark. And Shadow Fiend too, apparently. Maybe that was why she bought the gem. Yeah, she probably didn't buy it for Slark, she bought it for Shadow Fiend. But anyways, she lost it, so whatever. Windrunner might have also been lagging because I was able to pounce her quite a few times. It's just a lag spike when I missed her. I was to blame at one time. But other heroes have been dodging my pounces, like Lifestealer. I'm guessing that Lifestealer was not actually lagging. The one thing I like in Dota 2 is not having that lag. I'll be able to make really nice pounces without all that lag that I normally have. So that's pretty much the end of the game there. Not much else to see. Looks like Centaur and Shadow Shaman were kind of camping out the fountain for a bit, but the opponents were mostly hiding behind it. You can't really hide behind it so well in Dota 2. You don't have those trees, you don't have like all these circles of power. But in Warcraft 3 you can hide it behind it pretty good.